These exhumations became an everyday occurrence in England due to one man's sick mind, who shook the whole country.
That son of a gun killed my father on Christmas Eve.
A team of detectives launched an investigation into a series of deaths that occurred in the United Kingdom during the 1990s and which revealed a gruesome crime and an unexpected killer.
How far does this go? How deep is it? How many people have been murdered? I don't think that there'll ever be an answer to that question. The only person that knows is not talking to us.
The deaths generated a lot of confusion in the community. The murders didn't leave behind any evidence in plain sight, so from the beginning the investigation seemed complicated. However, clues began to arrive from a funeral home. They noticed that the deaths weren't due to natural causes, and that the number was very high.
Most of the deaths seemed to fit into a pattern, usually ladies, nearly always ladies. Never anyone that had been ill, as in terminally ill.
The exhumations put the entire community on alert. A silent killer was among them, and more victims were turning up. That's when, in the midst of all the tension, a revelation surprised everyone.
Over the coming months, detectives were to investigate the deaths of nearly 150 patients of Dr. Fred Shipman.
The number of victims wouldn't stop there. As the months went on, the investigation would reveal a shocking figure. Dr. Shipman was now known as Dr. Death.
The official inquiry found that he deliberately ended the lives of at least 215 of his patients.
Fred Shipman had hidden behind his charisma to become a bloodthirsty killer.
Today, as the 53-year-old doctor who used his caring manner as a cover for murder was led away to spend the rest of his life behind bars.
However, that personality that showed nothing but goodwill wouldn't enable him to escape justice forever.
I think Shipman sought opportunity. It was about opportunity and risk. What are the chances of me being caught if I kill this person?
A series of mistakes ended up bringing him down. A simple will would be the beginning of the end for him.
2 days before she died, a local firm of solicitors received a crudely typed will purporting to be from Mrs. Grundy, who they had never dealt with before. On a standard post office form, Mrs. Grundy's whole £300,000 estate was bequeathed to her doctor, Fred Shipman.
His ambition for money, in addition to the high number of deceased the funeral home was enrolling, who were coming from Shipman's practice, made the situation increasingly clear. However, there was still skepticism, especially since the person targeted was a doctor.
We trust a man, trust a doctor, and for us to make accusations, assumptions, to have concerns about a doctor maybe murdering people because that's what it is.
Dr. Death was cautious about his murders. He edited the death certificates to change the cause of death, but the reality was that he was intoxicating his patients with high doses of morphine.
The forensic scientists had no doubt that death would have occurred in quite a short time.
Shipman's preferred victims? Elderly women who lived alone and had money.
He cared for them, he got their confidence, he used to visit them at home, all these things, But I think it was all a ploy, really, to gain access and then to kill.
Sentenced to life imprisonment for 218 deaths, the doctor would eventually commit suicide in his jail cell in 2004, escaping the horrible sins he committed in his life.